Hello, hello, it's Lara Joe. Hey Marianne, how are you? How's life? Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's taken a long road to get here. How's life in Arizona? How are your babies? Grown now, right? It's been a crazy, busy day, and energetically, cosmically, we are going through the blender, so just trying to hold on for dear life. Hello, hello. I'm Larry Joe. If you're coming in, we're doing kind of just talking about collective energy, everything like that. Let me know how you're doing, where you're from, how it's going. All right, so Nikki, I want you, my love, to turn it around from will I get through this year? Be like, speak positivity over your life. So, and even if it doesn't look like how we think it will, or even if it doesn't turn out expected, like there's always good things in the struggle, right? So will you get through the next year? Let's see. Speak life over it. So Emperor, yes, King of Pentacles. So what this is asking you with Emperor, this is Aries energy, and King of Pentacles is very grounded. It's saying take charge of your life. Start changing the narrative to fit you. So instead of saying um, this is such a horrible situation, how can you see the positive sides in it, right? So King of Pentacles and Aries with the Emperor, it's saying take charge of your life, start building the life that you want, okay? And it's slow and steady. So that's Earth sign with Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo with King of Pentacles. And again, Aries is just being decisive and deciding, okay, even if it doesn't look the way I want it to, I'm going to have the best outcome ever, right? That's part of it, is saying, I'm going to make the best of it, even if it doesn't make sense, even if it doesn't feel comfortable. And I was talking to somebody today, and this was a great point brought up, is that we don't move when we're comfortable. So sometimes you do have to be made uncomfortable to make a difference. So if you feel like you're being pushed and pulled and stretched, it's saying, okay, how do you start being the driver in your own life, especially with that Aries energy, and just saying, okay, I'm taking charge. That's the boss. The Emperor is, and Aries is like the head in the astrology, so it's taking charge and rushing forward. Okay, so be decisive in what it is you want, and then go for it. And you show up on the good days and the bad days, right? So Four of Cups and Five of Cups, this is very much being left out in the cold. Everybody else was having fun while you were sitting alone, and realizing if they didn't invite you, why would you want to hang out with them? Like, we only want to hang around people that want to be around us. So if they made us feel like we were left out in the cold even when we were sitting next to them, maybe they're not the people we want to be hanging out with. I started looking at family and going, you know what? If I'm sitting next to them and I feel lonely, I don't want to be around them. I'd rather be home hanging out than being around people that make me feel alone. So, Four of Cups, Five of Cups. Start leaving out the people that made you feel left out. And I want you to let go of the family guilt or any of those guilt. Alex, if you have not done the shadow work, Kimberly's not coming back to you, love. We talk about this all the time, right? If you haven't done your own inner work, she's not coming back, because women, no. We You have to rise up to meet her, not ask for her to come back, because you could be sitting there the next 6 months asking if she's coming back, love. We've talked about this. All right, King of Swords, be decisive. Okay, so air energy, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. King of Swords, this is very shrewd and intellectual. So start asking if it's like a head over heart decision. If they make you feel like you're not part of the crowd, you need to let them go, because friends will make you, they'll want to make you feel included, right? So if they're making you feel left out, it's time to let them go. All right, for Michelle, we are kind of doing a collective energy read, but we'll ask, will downtown help you find somewhere to live? 9 of Cups. So the answer is yes, and it may come to you. 9 of Cups is like you're going to be emotionally fulfilled wherever you're going, okay? So let that be what it may. All right. Hello, hello. I am Lara Jo, Siren Song Lover. If you're coming in, we're kind of doing collective reads, just kind of chatting. Let me know where you're from, how it's going. You're welcome, Michelle. And also think, okay, so we always ask, what if it doesn't work? No. Let's start asking, what if it does work? Right? What if those things do work out in the best way possible? Start changing your mind from looking for all the the loopholes and the ways it could go wrong, and start saying, okay, well, it could actually go really positive and turn out this way. Because when you start seeing alternatives, and this is the other part, when you are asking for something and say, like, I don't know how it's going to happen, be like, I'm curious to see. Because it is language and you're reprogramming your mind. So if you say, I don't know, then you won't be shown the answers. But if you say, I'm curious, then your brain will start looking for avenues to make all of your wildest dreams come true. So speak positivity. And also, rejection is protection. Okay, I know that's always scary. We're always like, oh my gosh, that thing didn't happen. Well, no, sometimes you're being protected from things that you're not able to see, and you need to be thankful to that sometimes, right? I've had many situations where I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I wasn't there, because I was being protected by not being around those people and in that place, all right? So, hello, hello, I am Lara Jo, Siren Song Lover. If you're coming on in, please like the live, share, comment. I don't love talking to myself alone, so if you want to chit chat, that would be great. If you don't, okay, keep scrolling, all right? If I'm not for you, that's cool. I'm not for everyone, babes. All right, the Fool and the Tower. So the Fool, this is Aries energy. So Aries, heavy, prominent in the energy. And Tower is Scorpio energy. So we are coming up on Scorpio. Aries, though, this is saying take that leap of faith, even if you don't know what's going to come from it. And Tower is when everything falls down, you have to just let go. This is very Scorpio and Mars energy. We're doing some Scorpio transits with Mercury again. But this is asking you that if everything falls apart, be willing to pivot and go in a new direction, okay? The world is your oyster. Stop being so serious. Look at life fun and lighthearted. Knight of Wands and 6 of Cups. So very heavy fire energy all over it. So Knight of Wands, this is being charging forward, being impulsive or fiery, passionate. 6 of Cups. What are you fighting for? Truly. Do you remember what it's like to be a kid again? Because if you were a grown folk and you don't remember what it's like to play or sing or dance, have fun, it's time to become acquainted with that. That's what I'm asking you with the Fool and the Tower, is saying, okay, if that thing falls apart, just let go. And the Fool is saying, I'm going to move in a different direction. Stop getting stuck in the patterns of old, because it's that whole, I came to a point in my path and I'm like, you know what, if I keep walking this way, the path that I know is certain. I know how it ends and I don't want to. So I'm going to walk this other path because I know I'm still going to get to the end. I know I'm going to have a good time, but I'd rather take my chances trying something new than going the old traditional way and knowing how that works out, because It didn't work out for my mama. It didn't work out for my grandma. So let's start moving in different directions. Knight of Wands, though, Six of Cups, asking you to go back, okay, to your childhood and remember what you used to do, what you used to love to do before the world told you you couldn't play and laugh and have fun. So get outside, please. Touch grass, ground, breathe, rest, drink water, meditate. Life is really kind of hectic right now, so grounding in. Hey, Angie, how are you, baby? I haven't seen you in forever. Well, I haven't been around in forever, so hello. I know I haven't been showing up, and that's what that is. I've been going through life. I'm here. Hello, hello. Eating. Oh my gosh. Thank you for praying for me, Angie. I don't know if I'm necessarily happy. I'm just going with the flow of everything, right? So when I need to let go of stress, I let go of stress. When I need to cry, I cry. So everything is just happening and I just don't even care anymore. All right. How have you been? How's the family? How are your behind the scenes issues? Okay, so Nikki, for future, it's Ten of Swords. So betrayals, heartbreaks. So if you have people in your environment that you feel are stabbing you in the back, it is time to remove that sword from your back and get up and move on, right? I need you when you're going through hard times. Okay, so that is the challenge. You will be shown who is truly for you when you go through hard times, because it's the people that it's like they gave you a hard time while you were already having a hard time. Those are the people you need to cut out. Yeah. No, so Nikki, I need you to realize, like, Ten of Swords is letting it go. Here's, like, a rule of thumb that I give to people. I'm like, if you have to choose between your happiness or theirs, choose yours. And if you have to fight for your life, fight like you are the third monkey on the ramp and the water's rising, right? So I need you to realize, like, I know it's been hard, but you have got to let go of those that are stabbing you in the back and realize who they truly are and just say, you know what, if you landed a sword in my back when I trusted you to protect me, I need to let you go. Right? I always tell people, I'm like, if you're going to land a sword in my back, because that's intimate, it's intellectual, right? They have to get close. Think of knife as a weapon. You have to be close to someone to inflict damage. So that's, like, they knew that it would hurt you. So please do not spare their feelings when you turn around and cut them off, okay? Because I always tell people, I'm a Queen of Swords, right? So I'm like, if I cut you off, you handed me the scissors, right? So that's with people. If you cut them off, you have every right to, right? And you need to realize that if that, like, your peace of mind is more important than anything else. So let people go. And it doesn't have to be big and scary. You don't have to fight for them. You just have to say, you know what, I'm no longer tolerating this. If you hurt me when I was down, I don't need to invite you to the table when I reset for the next meal, right? Give me one moment. I'm going to read comments over here. Let me know how that resonates for you, baby. Okay. All right. So my love, yes, that happens. So when you start healing, right, and stop holding on to self-hatred, yeah, your body will start naturally shedding and people will start finding you. They'll start finding you. So when you speak to yourself with a kinder voice, right? And Nikki, I feel like this is kind of a conversation for you too, if you're still in, baby. When you speak to yourself with a kinder voice, your body and your soul will start to calm down and ground your nervous system. So start looking at yourself like you didn't know, and once you know better, you do better, right? How are you feeling with the changes that you're going through, though, babes? Please let me know on that. And hello, I am Lara Joe, Siren Song Lover. We're doing kind of a collective energy read. We're doing spiritual chat. If you have spiritual questions, ask away. I'll let you know. Yeah. And that is really what it is retraining your brain to go from, like, being unkind, because you wouldn't speak to your best friend in that way, so why do you speak to yourself in that way? Yeah. So, Nikki, it's just letting people go. I mean, honestly, I had to let so many people go, and while it was really challenging, I also realized that mental peace is way more important than their bullshit because they're grown folk, right? If people are grown, you need to let them go. It's better to sit alone than to be backstabbed by someone that you thought loved you. Strength, Leo energy, so taming your lion. And okay, so I'm going to tell you this as a grown woman, I don't even know how many times I've had to be the parent to myself and tell myself no. So sometimes strength is knowing, like, hey, we don't act like that because we don't want the repercussions. And here's a mindset, guys. We're not afraid of dying. We're afraid of living and feeling, not dying. So, yet, if we aren't filling that middle between with good stuff, what are we really doing here? Right? Get out, sing, play, laugh, dance, create. Okay, correct. Love that standpoint. Okay, so Nikki from my other chat. So this is, and she's one of my girls that has been following me for kind of a long time. She says, a saying I was taught about letting people go. Relationships are like a fart. If you have to keep pushing and pushing, it ends up being shit. So yes, if you have to force it, it's not worth it. That's also when I tell people, like, people always want to do love spells, and like, don't ever do love spells, because if you have to use trickery to make that person yours, they're not yours, right? So strength is taming your own shadows. It's asking you to be brave even when you're scared, right? So, and that's again taming the shadows even within yourself, the lion within you. All right. How else is life going, my love? Eating bubbles. Like I say, I know I haven't been in a while. I've been just doing other things. About to really lose my house, and that's whatever that is. Yeah, and that is the challenge. We have to see the opportunity in every day. All right, so one of the things I said to my carpe diem instead of it is like seize the day, carpe diem nuts. So see the best in every day. Yeah. All right. All right. Well, I'm glad you're moving into a new apartment, eating bubbles. That'll be good. Have you had any more problems with that other party that we were talking about? I know we kind of talked about it a little. Okay, so Marco, I have for it's Hierophant, so it's maybe. You have to be so Hierophant is do things the right way. So if you're wanting a relationship, if you're wanting a lasting relationship, you're gonna have to court. Like if you truly want someone to be reaching out to you, have you done your parts as the counterpart to make that a reality? Let me know if that resonates. Nikki, my love, I would suggest. Okay, um, okay, good to know on that one. Let's see. Will you lose your dogs? So no, Nikki. The tower though, so things are going to fall. So with the tower, it's asking you to the situations that don't work, don't force it again. So this is asking like if you know someone's if you because what it is feeling like also though is that you may have to board them with people. Like you may have to find someone who can foster your dogs for a little bit, right? Or something like that. So this is asking you though if you do have to do that, make sure that you're putting them with the correct people, please. Like I don't feel like you're gonna lose your dog, but I do feel like you. Okay. That I don't know, Nikki. I don't know. And this isn't a personal read, girl. And I know you don't have the resources to do a personal read. And yet, so Tower is, you're going to have to be flexible, okay? You're going to have to let go of the things. So it's one of those, it's like you're going to have to make those hard calls. Like if the Tower came down and you're like, I have to choose this or this, you're going to have to make those. Okay, that's what I'm asking you with all of this, is to be flexible, but also to let go of that which is cutting you, breaking you, no longer a good fit for you, please. Okay, so Nikki, what I will say, no, and I'm sorry, I am being snappish. I don't love giving times. I used to be a waitress, right? And I've worked in the medical field for a million freaking years. So I don't love giving times. I don't love, because if it doesn't go that way, or if something switches, then people are upset. And it's like, well, it's dynamic. Like everything's always constantly changing. So it can be a yes right now, and then something may change. But you have to, it's like what the energy is here. Here's what I'm going to tell you though, Nikki. The gal from my other chat, which I'm very sad that I can't get those to merge so that we can chat between them. But what she says is, if you work with angels, Nikki, work with Angel Uriel and even Ariel. So Uriel can help with it, and Ariel can too. That's one of the patrons for animals. So Uriel and Ariel, and you'll be able to find those resources. You have to ask though too, and you have to grant permission. Please remember that when you're working with your ancestral team or any of them, you have to be granting them permission and also asking them to step in and help, because you can be saying, why aren't they helping? Well, did you ask? Or did you ask them to help with the right thing? So that is the other challenge. Ooh, Angie, so I know I've been really absent recently. I've been doing a lot of contract writing in the last few months. Yep, and you gotta be specific too. So I've been doing a lot of like spiritual court petitioning recently, and it's been kind of a cool process. I've been going through some things over here, girl. I have some stories. Yes, be specific when you're asking for assistance. Also, though, ask for this or something better, because if you're asking for it, then the universe, and you say this or something better, then the universe can give you something even better than what you can imagine. So ask for help, okay? So Tower, Scorpio energy, let it go, let it go, let it go. If it is not meant for you, let it go. Okay, I know I sound like a broken record. That's okay. 5 of Cups. You've been feeling that emotional lack, like you're being left out in the cold. 4 of Cups. So this wanted to come right back out again. This came out earlier. 5 of Cups, 4 of Cups. It's like everybody left you feeling like you didn't have a friend in the world. So if they felt, okay, and this is another lesson I've learned. I want you to take this just as out of the playbook. Like, place people according to how they make you feel, not based on how you feel about them. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Place people based on how they make you feel, not on how you feel about them. Because you can love someone, but if they make you feel like you're unimportant, then no, they're not healthy for you. Okay. Okay, so yes, love that, because I've been working, oh my gosh, I've been working a lot recently with gematria as well. And I'm glad Metatron is reaching out to you. I know that I told you that was going to be happening, so I'm glad that has been. And yeah, so okay, you don't have to be good at math, because those like formulas and those things will be given to you. It's not like you have to go out and figure out how to do the golden ratio or the Pythagorean theorem or anything crazy like sacred geometry. The angels aren't asking you for that. They're giving you the knowledge so you'll be able to decode it or utilize it, I promise. They won't just leave you alone like that. So also though, Angie, the 5 of Cups, 4 of Cups, what'll happen is you will feel confused, but it's meant for you to sit down and think about it. Okay? So I know you may feel like, I don't know what's going on. No, that's meant for you to sit and be bored and let your mind wander through those things. Okay? I I know that sounds scary. All right, Five of Pentacles. We have been feeling that financial lack. So 5 is all things need to change, okay? And we need to realize who was meant to be an ally and who didn't show up and fulfill that end of it. Because we need to be realistic about what people are bringing when they come to work with us. Queen of Wands, Page of Swords. So Queen of Wands asking you to be fiery, decisive, take control of your life, which was how this message originally started when I came in, was taking control of your life and saying, you know what, this is my life, I'm gonna live it how I want. And that's what Queen of Wands is. She makes that decision and she sticks to it. With Page of Swords, though, it is cutting off anyone that is being petty, that's playing mind games, that feels like they're gonna stab you in the back. It's time to let them go. Yeah. So that's probably light codes, yes. That's some cool stuff. All right. You do have to realize, though, like, what do you want? And then cut off anything and anyone that's keeping you from that. Okay, so 6 of Swords being moved away to safety, and Ace of Pentacles. So when we willingly go, Ace of Pentacles is like we get that reward. The pentacle is that big, shiny, like, I get that thing. It does come with making decisions, though. Not everyone can come with you because not everyone's going to be happy for you. And also not everyone's going to understand or be able to maintain the vibration of where you're going, right? If you were meant to be going to outer space, right, as an astronaut, you wouldn't be able to take grandma or grandpa with you because their body wouldn't be able to withstand the pressure of it. So realizing that not everybody can go with you because not everybody can withstand like the physical constraints or the mental constraints or limit like the pressures that are going to be put on them. So all right, 6 of Cups, Knight of Wands. They're coming out in those patterns again. Okay, so 6 of Cups, Knight of Wands. Being nostalgic, looking back at childhood and realizing, okay, what is it that I want to tap into? What do I feel passionate about? What do I need to go back to the drawing board for? Okay. All right. Six of Cups. All right, we're gonna switch decks. 6 of Cups is the nostalgia. Okay, actually we're gonna go all right, unfinished business, enchanting gifts, and message in a bottle. Okay, so yes, there are definitely things from your past that you need to go back and look at because there is a gift in that thing that you went through that you may not realize. Also, okay, so Angie, I know you've gone through quite a journey. I know that it's about to go to ad, but here's what I'm going to say is that looking back at the past to realize how resilient you are, and I know we hate hearing resilient, right? We don't love hearing like, oh, you're resilient. Looking back though, like how much have you changed and grown, and you're not the same person that you were. Oh, okay. Also, let's talk about body dysmorphia real freaking quick. Because that's the challenge. When we lose weight, we still see ourselves as that past weight. So I need you to remember when you look in the mirror, you're not the same woman that you were 6 months ago. Okay? Because when you go through body changes, you forget that you have lost, things. You've lost weight. You've changed. You're not that anymore. Okay, so message in a bottle, enchanting gifts, and unfinished business. We have to go back and look. There's messages in that past lesson that we need to remember to look at the value in it, how far we've come from it, how we aren't that same person. I love when people come at me and I'm like, dude, I haven't seen that woman in 2 years. I'm talking about me. Like, I'm not that past version of myself. Yeah. Yep. So remembering, like, we're not always we're not, we aren't that person anymore. It's hard though, because you'll catch yourself, you'll be like, oh, wait, that is me, but that's not me. I've lost part of myself. Okay, so yin, this is, you need to tap into your feminine play again, okay? Remember what it's like to be girly. Feel soft, feel dainty, feel loved. Okay, even if it's really hard. Okay, so let's talk about this. I gave this lesson. I had some girlies around this weekend, and the lesson I gave them, I'm like, even if you're scared right now and you don't know what's happening next. Okay, so Nikki, I had to do this, right? I have some very scary situations, and it's one of those like, I know that I'm scared, but fear is how they get you into tripping up. So if you can override your fear, you'll be okay. So you may not feel like you're in a good situation now, but you can go back and remember a point where you did have a better situation. So like, I know you said you have homelessness right now. Okay, so if you can mentally tap into what it felt like to have the best home ever, right? Even if you mentally take yourself back to that place, you'll be able to pull it back again. So it's, and as you can hold the frequency of like, no, I feel home calling me, versus the fear of not having home. And I know that this is it's a challenge, right? But everything is temporary, right? Yeah. So it's realizing like, okay, this is scary and it's hard right now, but I do remember a point where I did feel safe and secure. So I'm going to tap back into that, because even though I'm not in that situation right now, I can remember what it feels like to be safe and to feel grounded and calm, and I'm going to pull that in. So hopefully that makes sense, and let me know. It's like when money is really tight, I'm like, okay, I can remember what it was like to have really good money flow. We can get back there, because this is just temporary. This is just a momentary blip, and we'll be on the right path. So thank you, Eating Bubbles, for switching over. I know kind of Twitch has a different vibe, but I love when I can talk to, I wish all of my people were on one platform or the other, but I straddle as many worlds as I can to reach whoever I can. Because there are definitely some really cool people in the Twitch community that I've connected to that I would never see on TikTok, so, which my daughter hates when I say it like that. Okay, so blessed. Remembering that you are blessed. You have breath in your body, right? So we are blessed. I don't even know. Okay. Keep going, Lara. All of us are. So, Nikki, this is collective energy. You have to realize, if you are upright breathing, you are blessed beyond measure, right? Because there are people, and I've had clients that have complete, like we've all got stories, but it's one of those realizing like, okay, where can I see the silver lining in what's happening here? And if you can't see it, that's a story you're gonna have to sit down and figure out, like, okay, what can I do? What is the best outcome here? What is good? I don't know. Okay. I'm gonna take a sip of this. And sometimes you don't realize that you can't see the light because you are the light. Wait. First off, you can't actually see your own face, right? From another person's perspective. I do. I have a million pets, and I'm about to be facing homelessness too, unless some miracles turn around. So I have a bunch of animals, and I love wildlife, so I take pictures of critters all the time. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Angie, I have so many pictures of caterpillars and spiders. I have a golden orb weaver. So, yes, I do have pets myself. I'm a lover of all creatures, even the dumb ones. Happy finding that peace and that balance. Okay, because it's an inside job. You have to find the happiness within you before you can find it outside of you. Yeah. I may have to petition. That may be the next Eating Bubbles is petitioning to Uriel. So, okay, I have so many freaking pictures and videos, and now I have, so I used to have just one, and I called her Charlotte 2.0 because I used to have a Charlotte in a different part of the house, but I love golden orb weavers, and the fact that they actually, like, they're cool as hell. Anyway, and then next to her is like another web, and that was like a late edition. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. I actually have Merida on the back of my arm. I think that's Merida right there. I can't see her, but yeah, I could see that. Oh my gosh. What type of spider? All right. We'll see if there's anything else in here. All right. Observer. All right. All right. So we're going to add this. Not every argument needs a comeback. So observers. So this is, okay. I've had to work with a lot of people on this, is listening before speaking or watching to see how it all plays out before making your move. So observers saying before you jump in, right? Maybe take a step back and assess the situation before you hop in there. So observer is saying, okay, if this is an emotion, is my emotion valid, or am I maybe reacting, and do I need to calm down before I address this situation? So observer is, all right, Miss Nikki, please go charge your phone. I pray, okay, we will ask that you find safe shelter and that your animals are kept safely together, and that you may find charging for your phone this evening and a good meal. Okay. May you find peace and rest, Nikki. Okay. Building blocks. Alrighty. So building blocks. You have to start somewhere. You have to start with the basics. We all want this huge, extravagant thing. No, you have to get the basics down first. I speak with this all the time, is that, okay, in order to do the really cool things, you have to do the simplest things first. So building blocks is asking you, did you miss a step? Right? So with building blocks, if you miss a step, you can get into big trouble. So asking you, all right, go back to the drawing board, look at the foundation, see if you need to what needs addressing in order to make this successful. Serendipity and TikTok. This has been coming up today too. Divine timing, serendipity, faded. So realizing, all right, if I can't control anything, I'm just going to sit back and relax and enjoy the ride. I did tell my daughter this. I'm like, if you can't actually drive the car, just sit back, listen to your music, enjoy the ride. You can't do anything about it, so just enjoy. So divine time and serendipity, or TikTok and serendipity, is saying there are other things at play, so don't get caught up being stressed out. That's the challenge recently, when everyone else is feeling riled up. Yeah. When everybody else is feeling riled up, I intentionally tap into breathing and relaxing. Right? I'm like, oh, wait. If everyone else is feeling like they are racing the clock, I'm gonna step back, because I know that demon time rushes, whereas divine time is right on time. That was a conversation I was having as I was walking down the driveway today. I was like, no, divine creator time. We always think like, oh, divine's too late. No, we don't know what pieces have to be put into place for that beautiful, wonderful thing to happen for you, if that is what is designed. So, building blocks is saying if you've done the work, you've done the right thing, you'll have a good outcome, right? So, no place like home, tapping into what you love, what feels safe, what you want for home. Should you be building your own home? It's okay, what do I want in it? Not what everyone else wants. What do I want? What helps make me feel like this is a little slice of me? Also remembering even when you're okay, especially when you're moving into new spaces, making sure that you're creating a sacred space, even if it's tiny, even if it's on a shelf, just a sacred space where you can return to as a point of center. With everything that's going on right now, all over. I was talking to someone and they were stuck on a one point, and I was like, I don't love that you're stuck on this point because this is problematic, and we watched how that play out. Yet, it's, when ballerinas do pirouettes, they have a focal point or a fulcrum. So sometimes you need to realize what the focal point is so that you don't get off track. That's how so when they're doing like spins, if they have a place to focus, they won't lose their balance because they know that every time they come back to a certain point, their head will snap back. And it's like the lighthouse too. It's realizing, okay, even if I feel a long way from home, I know that I have a place that's like a beacon that I can channel that home or that calm. So finding within your own domain is just a little bit of space to be your own sacred space, so that even if you can't if you aren't in the place that you want to be, you can still find comfort because you can still create that little, you're like, okay, I have a place right here that is for me, or that I feel I can express me. All right. All right. That's also, Angie, when it's that asking the universe this or something better, it's like if the universe, if it has to be that and you put the universe in the corner, if that's not the right thing, it won't make it happen. So we always have to trust that there's something bigger that we aren't seeing. Okay, so leg up, we're getting those advantages, and I love it. A change in the wind, message in a bottle, and soulmates. So there are things that we may not be seeing behind the scenes that are happening. And soulmates can even be communities, friendships, partnerships, anything like that. So this is saying that we are receiving those messages. There are things that are changing. We just have to, we have to be patient. We also have to heed the messages. Like, okay, who wants to collaborate? Who wants to come in, kind of thing. Peace, truth be told, and not for you. So when something, again, is not for you, you've got to let it go. All right. Also, though, it's saying okay, you can't heal if you can't admit that it hurts. Right? I had that was something that came in today. I was scrolling. Right? It's like you can't heal if you can't admit what hurts. If you can't admit that you have a problem or that it's painful, you're never going to be able to heal that. So if you have a situation, I was thinking about that also while I was doing Reiki today, and I was going back to my nephew, and my nephew has this thing where he just glosses over everything. He doesn't ever admit that anything, he just, not a care in the world, love that boy, not a thought in his head, in his nugget. Yet it's one of those that if he never admits that something didn't feel good, because that boy was really sensitive, and his family, his sisters and his mom, were really harsh on him. It was that whole, if he can't admit that he ever felt upset that they treated him that way, he's never going to be able to heal it. And I only think about that because he's so go with the flow, everything's great, kind of that puppy mentality. It's if you can't ever admit that you didn't like how you were treated as a kid, you can't heal it. And that's okay if you don't want to heal it, but baby, I want to see you be healthy. So start admitting. And that was a come to Jesus. I had a come to Jesus moment the other day, and it was that whole, I am angry, and I am allowed to be angry. I do have needs and wants, and I am allowed to have needs and wants. Like we've been told, especially as women. I'm only speaking for women. I'm only speaking for myself. As a woman, I've been told my whole life, oh, that's too much. That's too needy. You can't want anything. You can't have passion. You can't show desire. You can't be anything other than polite. You can't be anything other than polite. So when do we start saying, and even men as well, like we need to start also opening the platform for men to be able to express their emotions and feel and, have an opinion, is realizing it's human to feel. So why do we keep trying to push it down like it's something that's not necessary or that doesn't happen to us? So realizing I have wants, I have needs, I have feelings. I'm allowed to be angry. Okay? Because you are. You do. Okay, deep knowing. Start asking for the things that you know you want, even if they're scary. Ask with a shaking voice, because the worst that can be said is no. Right? That's the worst anyone can tell you, no. And sometimes it's no for right now, not a no forever. That's the other challenge, is that sometimes we hear no. Well, maybe at this time it doesn't work, yet down the road it does work. So the deep knowing is that it may be a no for now, it's not a no forever, and that's okay. Okay, change in the wind. So things are changing. Be willing to follow the knowing. So with the deep knowing, though, too, is that I don't know how this makes sense, yet I know that it makes sense. So realizing within your heart, even if it feels scary, there is change coming, and you're gonna have to follow it in order to get to the next step. You can't, that's the part also. You can't get to the next step without going through this step first. You can't bypass those. So enjoy the ride, enjoy the process. Okay? Loyal heart. What do you love? What do you want? Realizing that. And if you need someone that's loyal, yes, realize that too. You need a love and a heart that loves like you do. So don't give your majestical unicorn heart to just anyone. All right. And then enchanting gifts. So I'm going to end here. Enchanting gifts. Remember, you are the magic. You are the inspiration. Keep pushing. Keep moving. You have things to bring to this world and this collective. All right. Bye, guys. Andy, it was nice to see you, baby. And I hope I hope everything